What if wealth isn't something you chase, but something you become ready to hold? What if true wealth starts with your mind, your body, and the way you build your life from the inside out? Hey, you guys, welcome to my channel. This is Casa Sadatu, and I am Sadatu. If you're new here, this is a space all about holistic abundance. And when I say holistic abundance, I'm not just talking about money in the bank, right? We're talking a little bit more than that. I'm talking about peace, I'm talking about health, about clarity, alignment, ownership, and being well enough to actually enjoy what you're building. Because to me, abundance is not just like having things, it's being the kind of person who can hold those things well. It's having the capacity to sustain what you pray for, right? So it's having the energy, the discipline, the self-trust, and the peace to live inside the life you've created. A lot of people are chasing money while burnt out, disconnected, they're overwhelmed, and they're very unhealthy. Okay. And I really had to ask myself, is that truly wealth? That's where this all came from. Because if you have money but no peace, if you have status but no clarity, if you're successful on paper but your body is depleted and your spirit feels like horrible, what exactly are you building? Sorry, the airplanes. I'm in Old Town today. So this channel is really my answer to that question. This is a different path. It's a path where spirituality, wellness, and wealth building are not separate at all. They're actually work together. So I'm a realtor, and I'm deeply rooted in wellness and spirituality. I'm also a mother and a woman who's building in real time. I'm not trying to pretend to be perfect because, trust me, I'm not. I get it wrong a lot, and I'm not here acting like I have every single answer. I'm here to share the journey as I live in it, okay? So, in this video, I want to show you how mindset, body, and wealth building all connect together. Sorry about that. Because I really believe that success is deeper than what we've been taught. And so by the end of this video, I want you to walk away with a new way to think about abundance, a new way to think about wealth, and honestly, a new way to think about yourself, okay? Because that's where it stems from, yourself. This is not just motivational talk. This is practical. This is lived. I've lived it. This is the framework I'm actually building in my own life around, right? My whole journey started changing when I stopped separating spirituality, wellness, and money. I brought it all together. And once I saw how connected they really were, everything started making more sense. So if you've ever felt like there has to be a different way to define success, this is that conversation. Okay, this is where I want you to start with me at point blank, period, point one, right? So what if that version of you that can hold wealth has to be built first? I want you to sit with that, okay? Because that question changed a lot for me, myself. Around last September, something in me like shifted seriously. Not only was I a year after having my daughter and going through postpartum depression for the first time, but externally, life may not have looked wildly different overnight, but internally, I knew I changed. I was asking deeper questions, I was reflecting more, I was becoming more aware of what felt of alignment in my life. I was thinking about who I was becoming. I just got my realtor license, and I was thinking about what kind of life I actually wanted to build, not just what looked good for the clout or whatever, not just what sounded impressive to the audience, but what actually felt true to me, what I could substantially, constantly build on. And I knew that something had to change internally before I could even expect different results externally, right? Around that time, quantum physics started catching my attention, not because I was trying to sound super technical or over intellectual, but because it started giving me a language to things that I was intuitively feeling. Background, I am a math major, so I can process math much easier, right? So it made me think a lot about energy, observation, reality, and like possibility, and probability. It made me think about how attention shapes experiences, how belief affects behavior, and how we focus on can influence, and what we focus on can influence what we see and what we create and what we allow. So what was so interesting to me is that my spiritual practice and what I was started to kind of talk to each other, they started to intertwine. It was like two worlds melting and meeting. On one side I had my spirituality, my inner knowing, my practices, the thing I could feel deeply but maybe didn't always have a language for. And on the other side I was learning concepts that made me realize, wow, maybe the inner world really does affect the outer world more than we've been taught to believe, right? Especially with like organized religion. And that was a big moment for me. It was huge. It's mind blowing because I started to realize that wealth is not just about an amount, right? It's not just a money sign. Wealth is identity based, it's rooted deeply in who you are. It's discipline, it's emotional regulation, it's self trust, it's discernment, it's patience, and it's being able to make clear, decisive decisions and not panic, right? And I realized that money doesn't automatically fix who we are. A lot of the time, it just amplifies who we already were. So who you becomes matters. Before that shift, I think I was more focused on outcomes, right? More focused on results, getting somewhere, more focused on something looking uh looking like from the outside in, right? More focused on proving to people, reaching, arriving, wanting to be that person. But then after that shift, I became a lot more grounded, a lot more intentional, a lot more clear about what abundance really means for me. And I really want to say this to anyone watching who feels behind financially or feels like they're not where they should be. The deeper work is not a detour. I'm going to say that again. The deeper work is not a detour. Working on yourself is not you falling behind. Building self trust, discipline, health, peace, and clarity is not separate from building wealth. It's part of building wealth. And for me, holistic abundance stands on three pillars, okay? Those three pillars are spirituality, wellness, and investments. And I want to walk you through each one of them, okay? The first pillar is spirituality. First and always first. For me, spirituality has been a huge part of learning how to come back to myself. Comedic yoga was definitely where it started. And it changed my relationship with myself in a deep way. It grounded me, it helped me regulate my energy, it made me spiritually feel embodied, not just intellectual. Um, and that mattered to me because I didn't want spirituality to just be something I talked about. I wanted it to be something I like was living in. I think that sometimes people reduce spirituality to aesthetics, and that's not okay. Candles, quotes, certain kinds of posts, a certain image. And I think a lot of people view that on me as well. But for me, that is not the practice, right? It's discipline, it's awareness, it's hard work, it's how you move through life when nobody is watching, okay? It affects how you respond to pressure, it affects your decision, it affects your boundaries, it affects your relationships, it affects your business, it affects everything. Um, it even affects how you carry yourself. Like studying Hermetic principles also helped me a lot. I'm not even going to make this whole set lesson on every principle. We can say that for another video, but I will say that these teachings gave structure to things I was already experiencing. So they helped me better understand reality, myself, energy, rhythm, cause and effect in a more intentional way. And once I started becoming more spiritually aligned, I noticed real life shifts, right? Once I started practicing those principles, I noticed the shifts. I had better intuition, boundaries became better, my timing, my discernment, it all started to just elevate. And I was less likely to make panic based decisions, and I was more likely to move from fear. And that matters, especially when you're trying to build something meaningful, because spirituality and wealth are not separate, right? Your beliefs about worth matters. Your beliefs about receiving matters. Your beliefs about fear, control, safety, and lack matters. So how you think about um, how you think about and feel about yourself will always affect how you move money. Spirituality has helped me become the kind of person who I can actually hold more and not just ask for more, right? And I want to be clear, I'm still on this journey, right? I'm still getting there. I'm not speaking from perfection. I'm speaking from practice. I'm sharing what is genuinely helping me. Now, the second pillar is wellness. And for me, wellness is not about perfection. And it's not about trends. It's not about titles. Let me put that right there. It's not about titles. It's about honoring your body, your nervous system, your hormones, your energy, your cycles. It's about choosing what supports your life. I live a pretty natural lifestyle in the way that feels authentic to me. That can look like sugar waxing. That can look like choosing more natural or organic options where I can. That looks like reducing what I know does not support my body. And for me, wellness is really about remembering that the body is not separate from life you're trying to create, okay? Your body is the vessel, right? It's your temple. And your body is how you show up, how you work, how you parent, how you serve, how you create, and how you rest. Yes, rest. So caring for your body is not extra, it's foundational. It's part of it. It's the start, honestly. So recently I did a fast, and a reset in that experience reminded me of a lot. I didn't do it to be extreme. I did it because I needed clarity. I needed discipline, and I needed healing. I needed to return to myself. And what I noticed was not just physical. Yes, there were physical shifts, but there were also mental and emotional shifts. I felt clearer. I felt more aware. I felt more connected. I felt like I was remembering myself again. And that's a big deal and a big part of wellness for me. Not performance, not image, but returning to who you are, which goes back to the whole comedic thing, just returning to who we are. When your body feels better, your focus improves. When your energy is better, your decisions get better. When you're not constantly depleted, it becomes easier to build, right? And that's why I say health is wealth. I've been saying that for years, right? The people who've been here for years know health is wealth, because abundance is easier to create when your body is actually supported. Wellness is also self-respect. Sorry, my foot is falling asleep. Taking care of your body sends a message to yourself of that your life matters, right? It builds confidence, it builds consistency, it helps you show up better for your family, for your clients, your purpose, and yourself, right? And I also want to say this to anyone who's just beginning. You don't have to overhaul your whole life overnight, right? You don't have to be this guru overnight. You don't have to become a whole new person by next week. You can start small. You just start by drinking more water, like walking more, getting more sleep, eating less processed foods, breathing deeper, paying attention to what makes your body feel safe and supported. Start with one thing, let it be real, let it be sustainable, and let it be sustainable. We're just going to leave that right there, right? Just start. Now, the third pillar is investments, because mindset and wellness still needs strategy. My foot has gone to sleep. But inner work is powerful, but money also needs structure. And you cannot meditate your way out of every financial decision. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. Abundance needs action. And the way I look at investing is really as stewardship, right? It's not greed, it's building stability. And I want people to understand that, because a lot of times we grow up with this idea that it, you want a lot of money, it's greedy. But no, it's just building legacy, right? Some things are your children have to start from scratch, or grandchildren or beyond. I'm learning to make money work for me instead of working for money, right? I have a broad view of wealth. I think about real estate, I think about stocks, I think about business, I think about cash flow, right? I think about ownership in general. And I'm not just talking about these things from outside, I'm learning and building in real time. Um, but real estate is the lane where I feel the most hands on, right? It's it's where I decided to be a little bit more impactful. And so that's where I'm going to meet myself at. It connects purpose, community, wealth, and wealth building for me in a very, very real way. So while I care deeply about spirituality and wellness, I also believe in putting abundance into motion. And for me, real estate is one of the main ways I do that, right? Real estate is powerful because it gives people a path to equity. It gives people the opportunity to build something tangible, and it creates long-term appreciation. It can offer leverage. It can create stability. It can shift someone into ownership mindset, right? As soon as you own real estate, you're a business owner now. And when it's used wisely, it can absolutely be used for a tool for generational wealth. So this is a big part of what I'm becoming, of why I became an agent actually. Not just to sell houses and make money and just wear cute outfits and be pretty. Trust me, that's part of it too. But to help people step into ownership, right? To help my community make informed moves and not based on fears, right? To help to help translate the process and make it feel more accessible, more human, and less intimidating. Because for a lot of people, real estate can feel confusing. It can feel like far away. It can feel something that other people have but they can't get. And don't believe that. I believe people deserve to access the good information. I believe people deserve guidance. I believe people deserve to understand their options. And the way I approach real estate is very, very intentional. I'm calm under pressure. I'm solution based. I'm strategic. I'm communicative. Even though it might not always come out how I want it, I'm learning. It's a process and I'm learning, okay? And I care about protecting the client's experience, right? I want to make your experience amazing. I care about helping people see value clearly so no money is left on the table. Um, and I care about anticipating your needs, right? My background in the restaurant industry has helped with that a lot. And so, because buying, selling, investing, to me, it's not just a transaction. A lot of times, it's a whole identity shift. Ownership can change how people see themselves completely. It can create confidence. It creates stability. I'll say that again. It creates stability, and it can create options. And for some people, it becomes their first real step into wealth building, right? So you're watching this, and ownership feels far away right now. I want to encourage you. You don't need to be rich to start learning. Nope. You can start with your credit. You can start with your saving habits. You can start with market education. You can start with understanding your options. There's so many ways of how I can be of service to you. And renting right now does not mean renting forever, right? If ownership is your goal, everything starts somewhere. And this is why I'm bringing all these three pillars together, because spirituality helps you think clearly. Wellness helps you sustain the effort, and investments help you build tangible results. So, all three pillars create a fuller life, and more grounded life, a more aligned life, and a peace where um, prosperity are not fighting each other, right? And that's really what this channel is all about. This space is about holistic abundance, mind, body, and wealth. Real conversations, practical tools, and my real journey as I build this life in real time. So, this channel ideally is for people on a healing journey themselves, for people rebranding their health, for people learning spirituality, for people wanting to build wealth and ownership, for people who want all of it in alignment. If you're trying to become that version of yourself, that you can hold peace and prosperity, you are in the right place. So if this message resonates with you, make sure you subscribe, okay? And I want you to comment below and tell me which pillar you're going to start working on first. Mine is real estate. Spirituality, well, mine is real estate, but which pillar in general do you want to start working on first? Your spirituality, wellness, or wealth? And if you know somebody who needs this message, please share this video with them too, because I don't want, I wanted this to go out to as many people as possible. And this is just the beginning. So I'm going to be sharing more on spirituality, more on wellness, resets and routines, more on real estate education, and more on personal growth, discipline, and the real behind the scenes of the journey. So I really want this to be a space where we grow together for real. Thank you so much for being here. I'm giving you so much gratitude. And if this is your type of conversations, please stay here with me and let's grow this life together. Bye.